The department was selling to the company that he worked for while he was also an employee of the department. So you know, how many investigators do you need to figure out that that's a conflict of interest?
This is a clip taken from our previous live stream breakdown of the Standing Committee on Public Accounts on March the 6th, 2024. You can find the links to the full live stream replay as well as the original committee video in the description.
Let's take a look.
Next is Mr. Genuis. You have the floor for 5 minutes.
Mr. Genuis is here. I think somebody said that in chat.
They brought in the Ogo crew.
So,
Sorry.
I am quite struck by the fact that Mr. David Yao was an outside contractor while also a government employee. Aside from the fact that, as best we can tell, he was contracted out to do absolutely nothing as part of the whole Arrive scam process, the reason you contract out is apparently because you don't have the expertise inside the public service. That's the whole idea of contracting out. We don't have the expertise internally, so we're going to contract out. So what an absolutely absurd, bizarre spectacle to have the contracting out to a person who is also a government employee. I want to ask a few questions about this. Mr. Hube, fundamentally, is this allowed?
So I can't talk about this particular case, but fundamentally to your question, sir, so the directive on conflict of interest says it's not disallowed, but it really raises flag to the effect if you're going to have a second employment, if there's going to be any perceived or real conflict of interest, you need to disclose it. So
okay. Sorry, I'm gonna jump in on a few points. Number one, why can't you discuss this specific case? Number two, to say it's allowed but it raises flags. I mean, clearly that's a bit of a problem. It's either allowed or it's not allowed. And in fairness to Mr. Yao, it was on his LinkedIn profile, so it was kind of hiding in plain sight.
So I can't talk about this case because I don't know exactly the work that was delivered. I have no clue about the contract itself.
Well, one thing is clear, though, aside from the particulars of the...
Okay. These glasses want to fly across the room on this one. Holy moly. All right. Sorry, my brain is just imploding on itself after this answer. You have the Comptroller of Treasury Board Secretariat, the department that is the traffic cop for all of the money in the government. You have the most public financial scandal within the Trudeau government that has been going on for 18 months. You have ArriveCan, which has been blowing up in the media. Even the mainstream media has been reporting on this since October. You are sitting in committee. It is March. And you're saying you're not familiar. You're not familiar with what has gone on with Dalian. The average Canadian knows what's going on with Dalian and Cortex and GC strategies, sir.
Well, clearly this guy doesn't watch Northern Perspective.
Clearly not. But this guy gets paid to know this. This is the thing that infuriates me, and I know it infuriates Canadians. This guy is supposed to get paid to know these answers. Like, why... to quote Judge Judy,
where did you think you were coming today?
Like, where did you think you were coming? To the beach? You were coming to committee to answer questions on this about how the money was spent on the ArriveCan app when it comes to Dalian, Cortex, and GC strategies. Full stop. And you're going to come to committee and say, well, I don't really know. Jeez. Okay. And rant. I need Pierre.
WTF.
That's all I gotta say.
Work done. He worked for Veterans Affairs Canada. Yeah. That department got contracts from Dalian. Dalian did work, received money through the ArriveCan process. It was on his LinkedIn profile that he was both a government employee and a contractor. So based on that, is that allowed?
So let me be clear. If there was a conflict of interest, no, it's not allowed.
Okay, that's a heck of a caveat, though, sir.
Okay, we can't prevent someone from having a second job. For example, your dad's got a shop somewhere. You go at night and you help him out. That's not prohibited.
Okay, but me selling ice cream on the corner while also working for the government is not the same as selling to the same department that I work for. So can you just tell us directly? You said if it's a conflict of interest, then it's a problem. I think it's pretty clear that it is a conflict of interest, and therefore it's a problem.
There's an investigation into that. That's why I'm refraining myself from talking about it. D&D is looking into it. If there is a conflict
part of the
interest,
problem in
there's
this
an
whole
issue.
process is that we seem unwilling to call a spade a spade. Like this, the department was selling to the company that he worked for while he was also an employee of the department. So you know, how many investigators do you need to figure out that that's a conflict of interest?
Mr. Chair, I think I'm being actually forthcoming here. I'm telling pretty much a spade is a spade in a sense. If there is a conflict of interest, yes, it was a problem. There is an investigation. I'm not privy to those information.
Okay.
I have no clue. There could be an explanation. So I'm going to let that roll out. But I think I'm being forthcoming and saying absolutely there's a problem.
I'm going to bang through a few other quick questions in the time I have left. Last week, my colleague Larry Brock asked for a list of all government employees who are using the Yao double dipping model. Do you have that list available?
We for all government, no.
Okay, for all government employees that are
now
are
for all
also
departments,
contract.
we don't have that list. No, absolutely. We've got a list inside TBS of our employees that did declare potential conflicts and
Okay, how many within TBS are there?
Madam Cahill will.
So thank you, Mr. Chair. So for TBS, we have 52 employees who have dual employment, 165 employees, including 40 executive.
Sorry, I'm not asking about just dual employment like they sell ice cream on the weekends. I'm asking people that are contractors to the government and employees of the government at the same time. How many do you have at TBS on that?
So we have none of those that have like dual employment within the government of Canada as contractors.
Okay. So is there work being done compiling a list across government? Because my colleague asked for that list.
Can I come back to? I said, it doesn't fall in, but we'll check.
I think this committee will agree to order the production of a list of all government employees who are also employed with or own contracting companies that do work for the government of Canada.
Thank you very much.
Can I just get the agreement of the committee to?
Yeah. So, well, okay. Pardon me. Of the committee, no. There
whatever
was
the process.
There was, Ms. Chupe, you had suggested you could provide the committee with something. I just want to make sure our analyst.
No, I didn't. Like I said, this doesn't fall under my purview, but definitely, if there's an ask from the committee, I mean, we'll have to figure out. Departments will be on the hook to give the information to someone, so we could give it to the committee, or we'll give it to the. We'll have to figure that out, obviously.
Okay. Well, Ms. Jennings, your time is up.
Point of order.
Yes, Ms. Shen, I was moving on, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, just on that issue, is that not something that we can discuss, that we should discuss as a committee when we're ordering that kind of production of documents?
So this is certainly something the committee can come back to. I just wanted to make sure for our analysts up here that if there was a request for documents and an agreement to provide them, that it was captured. I didn't quite capture. That's why I sought clarification. Ms. Jennings, your
just
time,
a point of order on that. I just like to clarify then from you, Chair, or the analysts. I've requested some documents. I don't think it's that complicated. Is the witness going to provide those documents? Is he expected to provide those? We just want all the contractors who are government employees. Those that
is
double
fine.
The
The official opposition has other rounds to probe and press specifics for documents. If witnesses are able to provide them, they will state so. If they will attempt to do so, they note so. And then this committee can then take a step further if we feel a response is not adequate or information is not forthcoming. So you were close, Mr. Genuis. I didn't quite
Chair,
hear
did he undertake to provide the documents, though?
Pardon me?
Did he undertake to provide the documents? Like, are we getting those documents?
At this point, no, but you're welcome to ask him again. So I'm going to move on now to...
So does the committee agree to order the documents?
No, Mr. Genuis, we're not at this point yet. You're jumping a few steps. This committee does operate well with witnesses where they provide information when explicitly asked in their field. That was not done specifically in this case. You're welcome to come back to this at your turn. So I'm going to turn now to Ms. Khalid. There's ample time, Mr. Genuous, to come back to this. Ms. Khalid, you have the floor for 5 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, a fair chair.
There you go. Of course, it's a conservative.
Mr. John Williamson, yeah. Doesn't matter who it is, he's being fair, and he's making sure that people are following the process. And if Mr. Genuous didn't follow the process, then he's going to hold him to that. Now, to Genuous's credit, he's trying to push and get this going and just get it on the record and get these documents. But Williamson is saying, no, there's a few more steps you have to follow. So I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that.